What is up, guys? This is Tcg Sam here, and I'm coming at you guys with an updated virtual world deck profile for the April 2021 format. And as you all know, on the March ban list, VFD was banned, much to the delight of everyone, but I still feel like this deck is very competitive and can definitely still put up a fight, and even has something really impressive still in its toolbox that isn't BFD. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. Just remember, if you haven't already, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, because it really helps keep me motivated to keep posting more videos like this, and it really helps the channel out. But anyways, let's just start off with the deck profile. So I really don't think much has changed. Triple Lulu, triple GG, triple Lily, triple Lala. You have to max out on the hand effects. No matter which one you draw, you're pretty much always going to be able to solve combo. Like, unless it's like a super awkward one where it's like one of these two plus a Qinglong, then it's going to be a little awkward, but you just want to see as many hand effects in your hand as possible. All of them have very powerful effects. And even if you can't get the effect of something like Roshi, where you just, even if you start off with like Kowloon Roshi, it's still really good because you can send the spell, add your Lulu, and get your play started like that. Even if you don't get full value off of Roshi, it's still really good. And of course, all the other ones are pretty much usable in any situation. So yep, you definitely have to play 3 of each to max out your chances of drawing them. I only decided to play 2 Nian and 1 Tutu. The reason I decided to play this was I feel like double Nian is more than enough. Honestly, like, yes, its shuffling banish effect can be really good, but I like the utility that Tutor offers you for the level 6s and the effect that summons itself back as a level 6 tuner, which is pretty important because we play Ultimate Zulkin. You can use it with the card like Stardust Charge Warrior if it comes up, but I just feel like this is pretty decent. You definitely, obviously, Nian is a little better than Tutu, but I like the utility that Tutu brings, so that's why I decided to play that ratio. So 15 virtual world monsters, I think that's pretty standard. For the hand traps, the deck is still run 9, which is really good. Obviously, the Cyframe package is really powerful because it allows you to protect your hand effects from resolving when going first or second. And of course, it's just a really good hand trap. I should also note that this is a budget build, so yeah, just keep that in mind. But of course, that's a very budget friendly hand trap. Ash Blossom, just the most generic hand trap in general, is really good. And then it may seem a little weird, but I'm playing triple Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. This card is actually really good in this deck, not only because it helps fix your hands to help you draw into those 12 hand effects, but it also is a dragon on the field, and that's really important for a card like Muddy Mount Dragon. It just gives you so much more potential to pressure your opponent going second, because if they see Muddy Mud Dragon plus this, they just assume Dragoon is coming down, and they know they have to deal with the Muddy Mud Dragon. Then you don't have to go put all your resources into an Ultimate Zulkin to fuse away into the Dragoon. You're able to just use the Phantasme on board, which is just super powerful. And like I said before, it just fixes your hand, and of course is really good against Dragon Link. So I feel like that's why Phantasme is really powerful. Onto the spells. Triple Kowloon, triple Qinglong, this is still pretty standard. I do play triple Qinglong because I am playing triple Desires. I'm not playing Prosperity because obviously it's way out of the budget. But even like drawing Qinglong plus Lulu or something is still really good. Qinglong Lily is really good. Even like Qinglong GG, at worst you just end phase, add back the Lulu you send. Obviously not great, but it is like sometimes you just gotta make do with what you have. But yeah, Qinglong, you definitely want 3 of it. It's just, these are just really powerful cards. Triple Pot Desires, like I mentioned, budget build, no Prosperity. Desires is really good, though draw 2 gives you more chances to draw into your hand effects, and of course gives you that hand advantage that you need to keep up the discards for cards like Qinglong, or for cards like the John Woo. So definitely Desires you want to max out on 3 of. This is kind of a flex slot. I play double Foolish Barrel Goods just to act as more pseudo starters for when you don't draw your hand effects, because even sending Qinglong to add a hand effect, even though you're not able to use Qinglong later on, that hand effect you're adding is usually Lulu, and then Lulu can either grab you another monster or it can grab you a Chuchi, which is a really good setup. So yeah, this is a flex slot. You can definitely play whatever you want here. If you feel like you need more hand traps, you can definitely just replace these 3 with 3 more hand traps to counter the meta. But I feel like you are sacrificing quite a bit of consistency if you take out the goods. And of course, I just feel like Call by the Grave is really good. You can swap it out for Upstart Goblin if you want. Maybe it's even better, but I think Call by the Grave is still really good. So yeah, that's it for the spells. And then the final 3 traps. 2 Chuchi, 1 John Woo. I do find myself wanting to play a triple Chuchi sometimes, just because I never ever want to even banish 1 off of my Desires, because I always want 1 in the graveyard to use to alternate the levels, but I always want 1 in hand to set or activate off a Kowloon, just because it's such a powerful card. So like like I mentioned before, you can cut like the Call by the Grave for a third Chuchi if you want, but I feel like then you just start running into consistency issues where you hard draw Chuchi, which isn't super great, but it isn't also super bad either because you're able to set it off a card like Zolkin, and it allows your Lulu to actually add monsters instead of adding Kowloon, which I guess can be huge, but these are like essentially more bricks because they don't help you facilitate your combo while they're in your hand, unless you specifically discard them off a Qinglong, which actually may not be bad. So if you guys want, like, maybe just play the third Chuchi over the Call by the Grave. But yeah, that should be 40 cards. You definitely want to keep it as consistent as possible. Moving on to the extra deck, Shen, this card is really good. This is still one of the reasons why this deck can compete, because Virtual World Shen acts as a macro cosmos where anything from the field is sent to the graveyard instead. So that's really huge against some of the top decks right now. Like Dragon Link, they usually want their stuff in the graveyard. It's just, and like the fact that it's a follow up every single turn is just really good. You just get summon it back from the graveyard every single time. Really powerful. Vermilion Dragon Mech, this is really good going first because it allows you to turn your Kirin plus a Qinglong into actually a decent combo. And it's going second, of course, acts as removal, forces out your opponent's stuff, because if they negate and destroy it, you just add back the tuner that you banished, which can be potentially really huge. I only play a single Cloud Castle. Rank 9s aren't the focus of this deck anymore, but Cloud Castle does offer a really nice utility. It allows you to essentially bring back Vermilion Dragon Mech to use this effect again, because it's not a hard once return, which is just really strong. But even just bringing back something to make a rank 9 is still really powerful, because we still play some pretty decent rank 9s in the extra deck. This is kind of a flex slot, but I still continue to play Croc. You definitely don't have to play it. I feel like you can cut this for a Zeus. You definitely cut this for a Zeus if you have it, but I don't have it, so I decided to play Croc as the 15th extra deck card. I honestly think these three are the only like level 9 synchros that you need. Like, they just cover all the bases that you could ever want. If you're going to Croc to draw cards, you're either in such a bad position where like that draw you heavily rely on chance, or you're just so far ahead that you just want the free draw that it offers you. So honestly, I don't think Croc is that needed, but of course, like I said, 15th card, you can just play whatever you want in its position. What is needed though is Stardust Charge Warrior. It allows you to climb into higher synchros. One Juju, this is really good against back row decks and just going second to remove stuff, and of course is a virtual name. And then from here, this is what the deck has really become now. It's become Muddy My Dragon and Zolkin plus Crystal Wing. So what you do, you go into Zolkin, set a card like Kowloon that you search, summon out the Crystal Wing, so it allows you to play around Nibiru and other hand traps, and then go into Muddy My Dragon later on in your combo and fuse these two away into a copy of Invoked Caliga. So actually not Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. I know a lot of people, one, dislike the card, but two, it's really expensive. So the fact that this is a budget build, I cannot afford Dragoon. It's completely out of the budget, so you play Caliga instead. Caliga, for those of you who don't know, it says that each player can attempt to only activate one monster effect per turn, and each player can only attack with one monster during each battle phase. So this is huge against combo decks because they're not able to continue pushing through their plays, climbing into bigger Link monsters or Synchro monsters for Dragon Link, and essentially you're pretty much stuck unless they straight up beat over this. But the thing is, you have a card that you will always have a card like Chuchi to protect it, because essentially your combo always ends on Lulu searching a Kowloon, setting the Kowloon for a Zolkin, and then bringing out Caliga, and then your Chuchi is able to protect the Caliga. So it's a floodgate that you can actually protect, and the good thing about it is you can even turn it off on your own turn if you have a Qinglong face up, allowing you to combo off and not be affected by its restrictions, and then it comes back on during your opponent's turn, and then they just pretty much lose from there. So Caliga is the budget version of Dragoon for Muddy My Dragon. You don't have to play Dragoon, but of course, if you have it, Dragoon's probably a tiny bit better because it has applications against every single deck. I only play one rank 3 now, Gossip Shadow. I don't play Jaja or Fortune Tune because I don't have Zeus, but Gossip Shadow is still probably the best rank 3 to play in this deck for now, unless you play around hand traps if your hand is good enough. For the rank 6s, one Fan, one Consoler Bartholomew. I think these are both pretty decent. Ptolemy especially, because it essentially acts as another GG to add back your virtual world names, or if you really want, you can add back hand traps you had to discard off a card like Qinglong or Zhan Wu, so that's really good. And of course, it just removes threats from the board without actually destroying them, so that's just really powerful. Fan's really good. It removes cards from the field and the graveyard, so it's especially good against back row decks like Eldritch, where you can remove Golden Lord from their field and then remove either a Golden Lord from their graveyard or remove one of their trap effects in their graveyard. So that's just really, really powerful. And of course, it actually floats, which is interesting. I don't know how often that will come up, but the fact is, like, if you can float into something, like, you should just be winning from there, honestly, because it just gives you an instant synchro right after. That's it for the rank 6s. And then for rank 9s, 1 Sacred Tree Beast, Hyperiton, and 1 Phantom Fortress Inner Blathnir. Hyperiton's interesting because it acts as a monster negate during your opponent's turn that actually destroys. But the good thing about Hyperiton is it also has the utility to attach spells and traps from your graveyard. So if you have a Dead Desires in your graveyard, if you have, like, I don't know, like Foolish Burial Goods in your graveyard, you have a Chuchi in your graveyard, if you activate a spell or trap effect, you're able to actually equip that card onto Hyperiton. It essentially becomes more of an Omni Negate that destroys. And of course, it's 2600, which is pretty decently hard to beat over. But the bad thing about this is, and the reason we don't play more of this and make this our focus of the deck, is because it actually doesn't negate on your turn. So the thing with VFD is you used to be able to play around a card like Nibiru, because you can make the VFD call light and then go on with your Roshi to make another VFD, but unfortunately you can't do that with this because it doesn't negate effects on your turn, which is just super problematic. It forces you to play into the card like Nibiru, and the only way you're able to play around Nibiru in this deck is either with Gossip Shadow or with a Zulkin. So yeah, unfortunately, this is only a one of. Otherwise, like, you'd be playing 2 of these, you can just make this instead of a VFD or something. And then last card, Phantom Fortress Inner Blathnir. You do need Outer Dragoon. This is a pretty decent Outer Dragoon. I also have the Crystal Wing as an Outer Dragoon with Zulkin, so I felt like that was sufficient enough to out a Dragoon. I felt like it was pretty okay, honestly. Inner Blathnir, the fact that it doesn't target, you can remove cards from the graveyard too, which is really, really huge, but the fact that it doesn't target obviously is what makes it really, really good. But yeah, that's going to do it for the deck profile. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to stay tuned for the test stand combo tutorial coming soon. I want to show you guys what this deck can still do. It's definitely not dead after the VFD hit, and it just shows, like, it can be a lot of fun. Like, now that people have not stopped associating this deck with degeneracy, I definitely think it is worth picking up to give it a try. But yeah, anyways, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. And with that, I will see you guys soon. Take care.